his crew neither.
They just cats and jammer kids. That's all they are. Cats and jammer kids. I can't
Wait a
believe
minute,
this
what
one.
that mean, Ed?
Huh?
What that mean?
That's a old cartoon stuff, man. Back in the day, cats and jammer kids. There was a cartoon going on where these kids was running around there just doing all kind of crazy stuff, knocking folks and shit down, walking over, knocking people's fences down, messing with their gardens that they had, going back to every. They just walk up and down the street and everything and just tear up shit.
Cats and jammers.
Cats and jammers.
Well, that's a good term because the shit is too crazy for me, man. It's too crazy. And you know, a lot of people take this shit serious and don't even, or they take it like it's a joke, and there's no guardrails. Where you gonna stop this jackass?
They not.
The
They just
military just doing what he say?
yeah. He getting ready to Saturday. He said he getting ready to shoot a missile off of the Pacific Ocean from Navy ships over into Camp Pendleton. The fuck you doing shooting missiles into Camp Pendleton for? That shit is funny. It has no. He gonna have these ships sent out there in the Pacific Ocean, and they gonna shoot missiles into California, into Camp Pendleton. What kind of sense did that make? I think he just.
Well, look at Hesek. Hesek said, "You journalists, y'all got to sign this waiver or this whatever contract that you cannot, unless we give you the information. This is what you write about."
Well,
There's no such thing as freedom of the press in the Pentagon.
He getting ready to throw that out because every last one of them news medias, including Fox, said, "Fuck you, we ain't doing that." They just throw their daggone press passes away from us. Hey, and we ain't coming. You can have a press conference by yourself, dear. That's what you want to do. So somebody stand it up. I can't believe some of this stuff till I got on this list down here, man. It's just too much. He done told Argentina, gave them $40 billion, get ready to get $40 billion. And he can't even give us no money to take care of our health care. Oh, shit. Oh, my goodness.
You don't give a shit about the people.
Man.
Get what you vote for.
He done told them
Farmers going broke.
He done told them farmers, I'm gonna give y'all $10 billion, but he done gave them motherfuckers in Argentina $40 billion. And they done screwed the American farmers because after China done went down there, they said, fuck the American farmers. We gonna sell China soybean too. We gonna give them all our soybean and take the money. But he gonna help them out while they screwing the farmers in the United States.
Well, if you know Argentina, that's where a lot of Germans went. They went and hid, and then all the gangsters, a lot of the gangsters, they ran off to Argentina too. So
when Hitler fell, when his empire fell, most of them folks and shit went straight to Argentina.
Yep.
Straight to Argentina. Oh my goodness. This has got to be the biggest baddie who I don't know. And then he goes, I'm gonna put 100% tariff on China because they done held my rare earth. And then 2 days later he said, well, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I see, you got to be kidding me. Ted, them people over there in China got me looking over there at us, and all around the world got me looking at us. So what kind of shit y'all got going on there in the United States? He done sent that goddamn crazy ass Lutnick up to Canada, and they done told them people, America's automotive come first, and Canada, you all are second. He left out of Canada, and they called up China and said, "We getting rid of 100% tariff on electric cars. Y'all can bring as many cars as y'all want over here to Canada." Damn United States. Oh man. Oh man, this is too much. This is too much, Ted. The people they go. I'm telling you, when history is written in 50 years from now, they ain't gonna believe what the heck happened. Some of this stuff going on, the
Hey, if
people
we
say, "No,
survive 50 more
yeah,
years,
yeah, we
man.
gonna survive. We gonna survive. We gonna survive." But they're gonna look back at it and say, "You got to be kidding me! All that stuff going on there. We gonna survive. We are going to survive, Ted. Some kind of way, we gonna make it through this mess here. We gonna make it through this mess here, some kind of way."
Well, the thing is that we got a jack VP and a sorry speaker. So I'm just gonna say it just like I feel it, and then I'll let you just go and give all your list of things. But I'm just saying these Democrats have failed us big time, big time. A lot of them taking that eight-pack money, corporate money, and I understand because you got to keep up. You got to it takes money because now you got all that. They got money flowing. You got one person that gave the campaign 200 and almost $80 million. So it takes money to run a campaign. I mean, the average Senate now, right? What 20 million or more?
Or more.
So this is crazy. I mean, the American people shouldn't stand for this, but they just take it like it ain't shit. They don't, and I guess because you got 90 million people don't even care to vote. So you only got 160 million people, 70 million people voting. Maybe the Democratic Party supposed to be for the people. They keep talking about they for the people. They for the people, but they ain't getting out talking to the people. They're not educating the people. Now, there are people that's out there trying to do that in a small way, but we need massive people that's all into this, what they call politics, the political party, because they have deceived these little
We
young people.
there, Ted. We have. I think you're right. In another way, you're right that they seem that they are beholden to these people who have the money.
Yeah,
But guess what, Ted? The same people that they are beholden to also give money to who? Republicans.
the other party,
They
probably
give
more.
Republican money to Republicans, so they are playing a game and stuff. Where whoever win, that's what we're gonna get. Well, Democrats have to realize that you can do the same damn thing. If the people giving you the money and stuff and everything say, "Hey, they're gonna win no matter what. You got the money, you're gonna win no matter which way the wind blow. They're gonna figure out how to win." Looking at the stock market, I don't give a shit what happened. It make you fall down, somebody gonna make some money. If it goes up, they're gonna make some money. They don't care. If it screws up, credit default swap. I ain't never heard of no crap like this. You betting that the stock market is gonna fall. When that damn thing falls and shit, you got an insurance policy, they're gonna pay you some money.
Yep.
That's crazy, but it's working, and these people are making money no matter what. So what's wrong with you if you do something against what these folks want you to do and everything, fine. They gonna figure out a way how to make some money anyway. And when it comes to the next election, they're gonna continue to give you some money. They're gonna give you some money. So why are you beholden to these son of guns? Do what you're supposed to do that's right. And take care of your people, the ones who are voting for you. That's how I feel
And,
about it. And they haven't
and
figured that out yet.
here's the thing, you know, usually they get some kind of data. They ain't got no data to work with. These business people, they got no data. They don't know how many jobs have been lost. They don't know nothing. They don't know what's going on. What's the unemployment? Who's on unemployment insurance? They don't know nothing.
Mm-mm.
How many people been hired? Usually, you know, how many government people been fired or laid off or been hired? How many this? How many that? What's going on in the hospitality? What's going on in the manufacturing? Now, it got so bad. The news people say, "Well, we only got one state that got the data, and it was Pennsylvania," and they read that off, and they 12% under manufacturing, negative unemployment. They had all of that data, but they didn't have no data at all because the government's not working.
Mm.
So how are these business people going to know what's going on as far as, you know, they talking about, I can't think of the guy's name, but anyway, they have, you know, like the consumer pricing index.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know nothing. They can just take a guess because there's no data, bro. So now, what are these corporations? What are they going to do? Only thing they got is their numbers, what they got to work with, and if they see that their revenue is going up 10% or negative 10% or whatever, then what are they going to do? They're going to start laying people off, or they're going to start hiring, or they're going to start investing, or whatever. This is the whole thing. Data is important. That's facts. Don't nobody know nothing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So how you gonna when you're in business, you gotta have projections and you have goals and you have things that you have to do as a company. But then also most of those companies, they are similar. Your competition, what is your competition doing? How many people did they hire? How many people did they lay off? There's no data, bro. Anyway, I just believe this though, man. You know, I still say, did you see McKinney gave $40 million to help the Black History?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she gave $40 million to reserve Black History records.
Right. That's what they were talking about. That they didn't. That we shouldn't care about what Trump has to say about the Black History Museum there in D.C. We got enough people out there, enough black folks with enough money to keep our history going on. We don't need them to keep our history going on. Damn him. Oh, uh, before I forget, yesterday you said something about Supreme Court.
Yes,
Okay. And that they were getting ready to do some more gutting of the Voting Rights Act.
I don't know if they're gutting or not. They just heard the case.
Well, according to the news folks out there, there's some more amendments and stuff there in the Voting Rights Act, and they're getting ready to strike those down with this ruling that they're going to put down about having to make sure that you are ensuring that black folks and stuff have representation and stuff in any election that's in any one of the states. And now the state of Louisiana wants to be have wants to remove that requirement and stuff that they have to have a African American district and stuff coming out of their state. And we are seeing and stuff now that we got Texas and stuff and everything. They gerrymandering their thing to where they figure that they're going to be able to uh, uh, get rid of two more districts and stuff there in Texas and stuff that's going to be going to the white folks. My thing is that the Voting Rights Act happened in 1965. We're in the year 2025. That's 60 years ago. And it was did and stuff to make sure that we had some representation and stuff when it comes to voting, and also to make sure that we were able to vote and all of that. Since then, the population has changed. Less white folks, more minorities. They're going to find this out in Texas, what I'm getting ready to say. In Texas, the white population is around 40%. You got 60% of the rest of the population is of minorities, whether it's Hispanics, black folks, or whatever. 60%. There's no way that you can gerrymander and take away folks' districts and stuff and everything, and you only hold 40% of the population. You can't. You got 40% of the population, and you're going to try to gerrymander all these folks out of there. They're finding that out in Texas right now. Some of the Republicans, they're not outspoken about it, but they're quietly saying, this ain't going to work.
Stop them from voting.
That's the only thing they can do. Stop you from voting. That's the only thing they can be able to do. If they can stop them from voting, gerrymandering those districts is not going to do it.
Well, they looking
Not,
at Mississippi and they trying to figure out how'd y'all do it.
and they're doing it in Mississippi and stuff because they have a unique situation going on where most of their population, who are minorities and black folks and everything, are felons. They've been locking them up in jail.
Yep.
And when they come out, they can't vote.
There you go.
So that's how they've been able to keep the black folks and stuff out or whatever, because black folks in Mississippi outnumber the white folks there. But they can't do anything because most of the population and stuff and everything are felons. And they have not did what they needed to do and everything to get themselves to a point where they can vote again. They have not cleaned their records up. They're going back and forth into jail into the prison system. That's how they've been able to hold them down. Because they have something where they have debtors prison there in Mississippi, Alabama, I think in parts of Georgia. You have debtors prison. They can lock you up if you owe a debt. True. So that's why I told you yesterday I wasn't worried and stuff about that decision that they're getting ready to make there in Louisiana. It really doesn't really matter, and I don't see a whole lot of people out there fighting it. They're hoping that they don't, but if they do, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of minority groups, black groups, and stuff already understand, and they are not really uh, concerned about that because they're seeing what's going on there in Texas. That's why Jasmine Crockett is sitting there saying, "I don't care what district they put me in, I'm going to win." Because she knows that the numbers don't add up. But she can't tell the white folks that, because if they do, then they'll figure out some other kind of way and stuff of stopping them from voting. That's the only way that they can do that. Gerrymander's not going to do it. They got to stop them from voting. You don't tell people what's going on that they falling into a hole here. You fall into a hole. I ain't gonna let that man know, hey, you get ready to fall, the crook get ready to fall into a hole. So I'm gonna tell him, say, hey, crook, there's a hole there. You gonna step off into it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna sit there and gonna watch that fool fall into that hole. That's what they doing. Let him think that he got us. Because some of the Republicans are even told the governor and all of them, hey man, this ain't gonna work. We can't win. They find it out. So anyway, that was the reason why I wasn't too concerned about that Supreme Court case there in South in Louisiana. Okay, what else? we, I don't understand. Well, I guess I do understand because you got to have some smarts and stuff for you to understand this. But I don't understand, like you were saying about the businesses and stuff here, that somebody needs to speak up and tell this knucklehead sitting in the White House, you cannot get rid of our research and our education and expect us to create jobs here in our country. You're running away the people that we need to create jobs here in the United States. There should have been a bell going off, Ted, when Hyundai had their plant in the United States and there wasn't enough engineers and smart people and everything to help get this plant up and going. So they had to bring their own people from South Korea over to the United States to help train the people who are going to run this daggone plant here in the United States. If you got the people and the brain power and whatever you need and stuff here in this country, why would Hyundai and South Korea need to bring their folks and stuff here to help train these people and stuff and how to run this daggone plant? Well, how are you going to create jobs here, Donald Trump? If it takes the people from outside this country to come into this country to help you to create these jobs, and then you're going to lock them up. Don't make any sense. Somebody should be opening their mouth to it, especially these folks and stuff who in manufacturing. They need to open their mouth up, especially Apple, who's sitting down there, Tim Cook. Instead of giving this knucklehead $1 million watch, he should be sitting there and schooling him. Hey, listen, mister, if I go to China, they can fill a stadium up with engineers. When I come here to the United States, I'm barely able to get a room full. Mm. So, I need to tell you something. You need to train our future generations and stuff so they can take over what's going on here because this whole place is being dummied down. How are you going to become a manufacturing place and your people are not qualified to run the business?
Well, I'm gonna go back to always what I say. If you don't educate your people and give them the adequate education, treat them like they are gold, because your people is the one that keeps
Gonna
this
keep
thing
you
going.
going.
And you putting people in jail, you just said it. They're putting people in jail, bogus charges, whatever. And you don't educate your people. It's not that people don't want to get educated, you just don't educate them. You put in, I ain't gonna say they're inferior teachers, but what I'm saying is you got to invest in these people and train them for the jobs that are built, what's going to be available in the future. That means you got STEM has to be worldwide, I mean countrywide, all across this country, STEM. Each high
And
school should be teaching STEM.
They should be doing everything they can in each and every one of them. Even in if you're trying to mess to increase the private folks and everything, you need to increase the public schools also in the same manner because you're gonna need them. You're gonna need those folks and stuff coming out of there. Yes, in those ghettos, in those wherever they at and everything, there is some
As,
geniuses.
as,
There are
there are people
geniuses in there.
there are geniuses and there are smart people, but you got to train them. You got to start in training them. But this is what they were trying to do. But the bigots, the racists, the white supremacists, and the lazy educators fought it. That's just the bottom line. I'm just going to say it like it is because they stereotype these kids and don't realize that they can learn just like anybody else. The question is, you got to support them. That means you got to invest money, billions and billions of dollars to get the fruit. If you get 30%, you're successful. 30%. That's all. You know. I mean, 30% of the educated people that are extremely educated, you are successful because everybody don't want to go to college. Everybody don't want to. You got people that just want to play sports. You got people that just want to have a regular little peon job, whatever you want to call it, a job.
And a lot of them want to go to a trade school, learn a trade, learn how to be a plumber, electrician,
But you
bricklayer.
got to make sure that these people are taught STEM. Everybody is not going to make it because they're not interested. Because you got so many subject matters that are people that are interested in. If you are a history major, you're not going to be STEM.
Hmm.
If you're a social worker, you're not going to be STEM. If you're a psychology major, you're not going to be STEM. But you got to make sure that those opportunities for those people are taught. And that means you start from sixth grade, first grade on up.
Now, how do we put this into these knuckleheads' heads? Even a stupid person and stuff should be able to realize what we're talking about. We hope that's what they realize that. Maybe they are thinking that way and
There are
they got
movements to
another
do it, but
plan.
it's a small movement. There are movements all over this country that's trying to get these people to become STEM oriented. But the point is that they are not being supported and uplifted. You know, one thing you got to give China, they are STEM oriented because they know technology, innovation is the key. Engineering is the key. I mean, I don't want to tell my story about my son. My son got a master's in engineering, bro. My other son is a mathematician. STEM. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. This is the whole thing. The thing is that you have to gear these kids to that curriculum. And those that can make it, that's fine. But if you say, okay, well, you know, Dad, I ain't interested in that. I want to do law. I want to do this. I want to do psychology. Well, I got a daughter that's a psychologist. I'm just saying. But I'm telling you, 30% of our student body, children, 80 million students in this country, and you trying to tell me we can't get 10, 15 million kids to get into STEM? That's a lie.
Whoa.
So
Well,
anyway, what you got?
yep.
What you got here? You claim you got a
Man,
couple pages.
we done went through a whole bunch of this stuff and everything. Because I sat down there and I talked about this gerrymandering and stuff and everything, and how the Anglos and stuff and everything, they only making up 40% of the population, 40 to 45%, and how we can be able to still be able to get our representatives and stuff into Congress or wherever we got to get them into to be able to get the government and stuff, Democratic government, back into power. But Ted, as I'm looking around here and I see these folks and stuff on time, I can't believe what these folks and stuff are saying. They got the Republicans standing up and they are telling the American people who are going to be coming out on Saturday that they are the evil part of our society. They are the terrorists. They are the antichrist or whatever they want to call them. And I'm wondering and stuff, if they keep on saying this stuff, how many people out there are listening to what they're saying and thinking that this is exactly what this is going to be come Saturday, the King Day? That these folks out here are, in essence and stuff and everything, that they're dredging out in our society. How many people are thinking that? Because they keep saying it. They're standing up there saying it, and they're hollering and screaming to the top of their voices.
Oh yeah,
It,
I heard the speaker. I heard the speaker. I heard some of these other people. But there was a map showing all the little towns and cities that's going to be coming out. They're going to be marching in their little small towns. They're going to be marching in their cities. They're going to be marching in the major cities. And they're calling them Marxists. They're calling them communists. They're calling them Antifas. But this is about freedom of speech, free assembly, and a peaceful resistance protest of way this government is being ran.
and I'm that's exactly what I want this to happen. But are we going to be able to let that happen? I don't know. I'm hoping
Well,
that.
if they put in their little infiltrators and start mess, then that's going to be a problem because they do that. They'll put in, they'll pay somebody, a bunch of people to start mess with these people. To harass the police or harass the whoever's on duty or whatever. All they supposed to do is march, show a showing, a peaceful protest. And I'm gonna say 95%, maybe 98% of those people will do just that.
No King's Day. All right, people. We want to see you guys out there. No King's Day. APAC. Who is APAC?
Ooh, they powerful, bro.
Who is APAC?
That's a powerful Jewish political party organization, bro. That gives out money to anybody that comes against the Jewish community.
Well, we have a young lady in St. Louis that's playing on bucking them. Miss Bush. She playing on bucking them. They beat her this last time, but she said she gonna buck them this time. She playing on bucking them. She
You know,
hasn't ran away.
she talked to Joy the other day. I think She did a little show with Joy.
Yep,
I
she
didn't
did.
see it because I didn't want to see it because to me that's stupid. To me, I'm just saying my own opinion. I don't know why you so all hot and bothered about the Palestinians. Okay, I'm hot and bothered about it too, but your importance is your constituents and the American people. You can do a little protest and you can say a little something, but that's where your thing should be. But she was too voices about the Palestinians, and they showed what the Palestinians showed us what they thought about the Democrats because they voted for Trump. Them Arabs.
Well, so you think that she took it a little bit too far?
Too far.
Her opinion of the Palestinians.
Too far. That wasn't her battle. That was not her battle. Let them people do what they do over there, and you can disagree with what they're doing. But my goodness, girl, come on, you got the best job of your life, and the way you went through all of that, you went through some periods of homelessness and all of that to get that job, and you were very good at it. You was doing a great job. You was helping your people in St. Louis. Swallow your pride, girl. This is my opinion. I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't think she on the, okay, yeah. And no question, some kind of genocide was going on and take over, the Palestinian area. But my goodness, man, come on. What about your area? What about your community? Building up your community. Bringing some funds and build that up. That's where the fight is. You got black people, jobs are being they got all kind of problems there. East St. Louis, all over. That's just
So,
my opinion.
so what about our minority leader Hakeem Jeffries, who have decided that he was going to let APAC tell him if he was going to back the maybe the new mayor of New York, Van Dam.
Well, they got here's the thing. When you ride on a devil's horse, that's the one you roll with. So you got to go on in because you got Booker, and you got a King. Obviously, they couldn't get enough money to enhance their campaigns. They had to have that APAC money. Both of them is in hot water, and that's the thing. And the thing is with APAC, you can't play with them. You can't play with them. Now the corporate world, you can sort of kind of placate, but you can't play with them. That's what Shula. That's what Shula's in. Shula, the same predicament. These
Well,
people. These people are. These people. When you taking money, and I don't know about Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders seems like he's kind of free,
he kind of what?
free. I don't know if he. I don't think he's taking money from APAC.
No, he doesn't. All this money comes from his people.
That's
All
because
this,
Bernie Sanders out there. He always talking. He say the same
yeah,
thing over
he's
and over and over.
he gets a lot of money from people to donating to him. And he's the kind of person and stuff and everything that doesn't need a whole lot of money because the state where he comes from and everything is Vermont, and he damn near knows everybody in that damn state of Vermont because he used to be the mayor of Burlington, which is the biggest city and stuff in the state of Vermont. So he's well known throughout the whole state, and everybody in Vermont love him. So he doesn't need a whole lot of money to win the election. Matter of fact, I don't even think anybody hardly runs against him.
Well, the
So
man
you
is
know,
83 years old.
I know he's rather old, but he gets his money, and he doesn't need a whole lot of money. He doesn't need your money from APAC like some of the other folks and stuff do. Well, some of the other folks who are accepting APAC's money. Now we know how powerful them folks are and stuff and everything because back in '85, one of our presidential candidates and stuff had some words about the state and the city, and I believe that was his downfall when he did that.
Oh, Jesse.
Oh, Jesse. Yeah, he had some words for that place. And ever since then, I don't think he's been very strong since then.
Well, you know, politics is strange bedfellows. You know, the thing is that we know that Jesse Jackson is a religious person and he believes in the status of Jerusalem, Israel, and all that. But the point is that you just can't say any and everything.
Well, he thought he could. He thought he could.
And you got to be smart enough to know how to say things that's coded.
Hmm.
And a lot of these people, you know, back in the day, even now, in some points, you know, they code what they say, and people know what they're talking about. But the point is that in my, you know, like me, I would never be a good politician because I'm just going to say what I think, what I feel, and what's in my heart. And the point is that it's a sad day when people are constantly invoking the name of Jesus Christ into politics. Because the one thing that Jesus, in my opinion, now this is my opinion, and it is scripture, biblical, in my opinion, when he said, let Caesar do what Caesar do. That's Caesar's business. So now it's our job as citizens to vote to our best interests. You might not agree with everything they do. This is my opinion. But I'm going to vote my better interests. Not only mine, but I'm voting for the best thing that's for this country. And it's not the Republican Party at this
Hmm.
time. So I just don't like these people keep on bringing God up and, you know, Trump is God chosen and all that kind of craziness. No, this is all politics, bro. God ain't got nothing to do with this. We can
Okay.
pray for our president and we can believe that he gonna do the right thing and he gonna be just and he gonna be, you know, do the right thing, you know, and that kind of thing. But it's the people that put him in office because we have a voting system, and everybody that vote is not godly. Everybody that vote don't believe in Jesus Christ. Everybody that vote, so God allows things to happen. In my opinion, He allows say, okay, well, you want that person, okay, you got him. Now you got it, whatever the consequences are. And y'all didn't put a righteous person in office. You didn't put a good person in office. Joe Biden was a good person, although he was a little off and not up to task, he still did a good job. You got to put the right person in office. If a person is a I ain't gonna say he was a P because I don't know. Ain't no proof yet. You know what I mean by P? Okay. So, but we know the man been divorced 3 times, cheated on his wives, had a numerous, um, ran businesses in the ground.
And you don't even know if Barron is his.
Well, I don't know about that. I ain't been to that, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that. Come on, come on, and you gonna sit up here and say that this man is a godly person, that
No,
God chose him?
there is no way. I don't even know why they even bring that up, that he's a godly person, or even the religious right even thinks about look at him as a godly person. I can't even fathom that, and I don't believe they even think that he's a godly person. They just probably just spouting those words out and saying, "Oh yeah, he's a godly person," but deep in their heart, they know he's not. They know he's not. One other thing before we're gonna have to get out in a little bit. Shut down. We in the what? Day what? Day
15, 16
16.
day.
Day 16. This is supposed to be the payday for the government. They 2 months, every 2 weeks they have a payday. Well, our folks gonna miss a payday today or
The
yesterday.
first paycheck,
They done missed their first paycheck.
and
How
and a
this
lot of
thing
them
gonna
still working.
as as I'm looking at this thing, Ted, and you people out there in the audience and stuff and everything, I have no idea right now how this thing is going to end.
Well, I know one thing: it's probably gonna last another 15 days.
Maybe longer than that. I don't know how this thing is going to end
Well, that
because
Boker guy
there's
supposed to be. Here's the deal: that Boker guy claiming he's a Christian, the one in charge of the budget and all that,
Office of Management and Budget.
and he's running around taking money from this and taking money for that.
And he's responsible for doing all the firing of those what 4 or 5 thousand people already, but has been stopped so far. But looking at them, Ted, I'm looking at both of those sides, and I don't see how they're going to be able to get through this because nobody is even thinking about how this thing is going to be settled, or even saying anything about how it's going to be settled. The first person that I saw so far who opened their mouth and said, "This is what's going to have to happen," was last night when AOC was on CNN and they did the town hall. And the lady who was monitoring the thing and stuff, asked her, "Well, what is going to take to do that?" And she finally come out and said that they're going to have this uh, uh, this this health issue and stuff signed, and the president's going to have to sign it before they even do anything because they're not going to take his word for it. They ain't going to take the Republicans' word for it that they're going to do anything negotiating or whatever. And I don't see them doing that. I don't see them Republicans coming back to Congress, the House, or the Senate, or the president saying, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to continue the monies and stuff that goes to help the people to pay their insurance premiums."
Well, here's what I see: they have to stand for it.
The
I don't
Democrats
care.
do.
I don't care if it lasts 2 months.
The Democrats do, but the Republicans don't.
Right. but what I'm saying is that if the Democrats keep standing in some kind of way, they figure out a way to help these people that's going through, which is a lot of money, which is a lot of help. These people got to go get other jobs and everything else. The point is that they are hell bent not only to fire the people they want to fire, but replace those people with their people. Now the Democrats got to get some kind of win, and this is what they're standing on, which is a good thing because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be hurt.
A lot of people. And they are already receiving notices and stuff in the mail about the increase in their health insurance policies per month. Millions of them are already
And
receiving.
and we say that, but it's going to hurt people all across the board
Absolutely. A whole lot of people. Millions of people already are
because the
getting their
tentacles
notices.
are way out there. Now, how long the TSA people going to last as far as these flights? Now, I just heard that they're trying to scramble and pay these people, that work for the airport and all that stuff. But I'm telling you, man, these Republicans are cold blooded. They keep on lying, saying that these undocumented people are getting all of this money for health care. They own health care. They own Obamacare. They don't want
That's
to
not
allow these people to come in here
and we know and they know that this is not true. They know it's not true, but that's their talking point. But
because anybody that signs an undocumented person, they can go to jail.
that's against the law.
It's against the law.
Against the law.
Once they find out that you're undocumented, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Your kid was born here, okay, they might need something. And they might put that child on something.
It is against the law for them to have Medicaid, Medicare, or get on the Affordable Care Act.
Or get even food stamps.
Yep, food stamp. But there is a kink in the law now that they probably are laying their hat on. If they go to the hospitals do have to service them.
That's right.
If they get in a car accident or they get shot or something happens, they get their hand cut off or they have a serious injury and stuff, when they go to the emergency room, the hospital has to take care of them, have to get them to a point to where the emergency is over with and then they can send them home. That's the
And
only
that right
thing.
there is a matter of being compassionate and taking care of every human being.
Right, because you cannot sit there and just
And
let
that costs
somebody
the
die.
hospitals money. So therefore, the hospitals should, rightfully so, get reimbursed. Now, these people, most of them that's undocumented, work. They pay taxes.
Mm-hmm. And one thing that we probably missing here, the doctors and the nurses, they take an oath. They have an oath they have to take care of, that they have to service the people and stuff out there. When they become doctors, they have to take that oath. I think it's called the Hippocratic Oath or whatever it is. They have to raise their hand up and say that they're going to save people. That's
That's
part of their
absolutely
job.
right.
Right. That's part of their job. So anyway, final word, Ted. We at the end, brother.
Well, it's hard to say this, but I'm going to say it. It is really hard for me to pray for these Republicans, but I'm going to pray for them.
uh,
That's all I'm going to say. I mean, The Democrats are not perfect, and we know that. But the Republicans are just being flat out evil.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. They're just being flat out evil. They lying. I mean, how you gonna say no more king? Okay, that's people's rights to put that out there and say, hey, we don't want no king. Because if that's what people feel like, that Trump is trying to be a king or a dictator or whatever, that's our right as in the Constitution. But they're going to sit there and label them to their little group and tell them that ain't nothing but a bunch of rebel riders. And there's going to be 10 million people out there, trust me. Newspaper
Well,
ain't going to hardly, they ain't going to hardly cover it. I'm going to be looking on YouTube and looking at it because I know the newspaper ain't going to be covering it all day. But
they're
I'm going
not.
to be looking at it all day.
Yep, I am too. I'm gonna be looking at it, getting my notices, notifications, stuff, what's going on, seeing the pictures, the drones and stuff that are flying over these crowds. They're getting ready to put drones and stuff up. Independent folks gonna be flying their drones and sending pictures out all over the world because they know that they cannot depend on the main media and stuff to even do anything about that, even put it out there so that people can be able to see it. They're not
And I'm
gonna
going
do
to
it.
say this Democrats, speak up for that protest. And don't let them keep on poisoning the American people, the ones that's not going to march. And this right here is a freedom of what they call it, freedom of gathering or whatever the hell they call it. But the bottom line is that you have a freedom and a right to protest and resist the
If
government.
you to protest what you think is unjust. Uh just got a notice across my screen here, Mr. Harvey. Federal grand jury has just indicted John Bolton.
There it is. Revenge.
They done indicted John Bolton.
It's all in the box.
Anyway, people, I had that was the only thing I gotta say. They just indicted to John Bolton. Oh, that's my final word. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.